And greetings, everyone. This is your Free Grace Heretic, Kurt, just coming to you. Um, just taking a few minutes, wanting to tell you about the issues of living in a tropical place. For those that haven't heard, I actually live in Florida. Since I live in Florida, that means you're dealing with tropical weather. You're dealing with, lately, we've been having a lot of rain and stuff due to some type of weather, hurricane, tropical storm, whatever, out in the Atlantic. So the rain's been, but a lot of times you get nice clear skies, as you can see, with some clouds, but still very bright, very going, and things like that. Well, one of the things in tropical weather like this, and this is one of the wonderful things about year round, even when it does get on the colder side, you can bundle up. You have the privilege, and of course, we got planes near a very small airport also where they do practices and stuff like that. But one of the things I like to do is I like to go for walks, which I'm doing a little bit now. I'm not doing a major walk, but I can go for 2 hours. Now, on a day like this, I will admit, I try not to do my walk at this time because it is noon. This from noon to about 3, I would say to about 5 actually for Florida. The sun is at its hottest, going down and things like that. So as a result, what's happening is that there is an issue because I don't like to walk inside. I mean, if I have to, I can do that, but I don't want to do it like on a treadmill or something like that. I want to actually go out and enjoy nature, trees, grass, birds. And yes, we do have different type of things around here. We got a small lakeside and there's ducks, fish, other things like that. So these are things that we deal with here in Florida. Of course, being in Florida, being in that I'm in the central area and all, we are dealing with fun things like alligators. Now, I'm too far north where we really deal with crocodiles. You got to get a little bit more south to deal with the salties and all. I'm glad I don't. Now, that doesn't mean that maybe occasionally you get a crocodile coming in. One of the other things, now you got to also remember, I grew up here in Florida, so all these things are just common to me and not that much of a threat. And as I see it, I've run into like back in the day, 10-foot alligators, wild. Now, let me tell you, as a teenager, you enjoy them afar, but at the same time, you do not take the time to go play with them. And as this one decided to do, because it was on the other side of the bank, it decided to jump back into the water because it saw me. And then it came over underwater, and next thing I knew, it swished its tail enough to get the water going. Well, as you can see, if you ever watched any of these videos and stuff dealing with alligators, they can jump up a little bit. And there was a bank, and I'm like, okay, that's too close. So I got out of there. So these are things that you dealt with. Another thing I always like to say is Florida, in America, there are 6 poisonous snakes, and we have all 6. Now, the great thing being in the city and all, we rarely run into the poisonous ones. That's a good thing. But if you're in the wooded areas and stuff like that, you got to be a little bit more careful. But back in the day, that was one of the things that you had to deal with is because, again, we were in wooded areas. But now that it's built up more and more and more here in the Pinellas County area, there's not all those wooded areas. Now, here's the thing. What I'm getting at and dealing with is, like I said, one of the issues of living in Florida is this great weather. Today is actually very good in that you're dealing with not a lot of clouds. You're dealing with a nice set of sun. Now, it looks like it may rain a little bit later today because there are some of the clouds, if you're noticing and looking at, because again, there are some of the clouds that are dark and all. So, but like I said, there has been raining and different things. But I like to go take walks in nature, as I was saying. Well, part of the problem is you deal with a nice day like today, you run into this issue. And I know it's an old thing, going all the way back to Egypt, but you start dealing with this thing called Ra worshiping, worshiping the sun god. Well, I'm not one of these ones that like to really go out to the beach, lay on one side, then 15 minutes later or 20, whatever, turn over and do that and get baked that way. Growing up, I will admit, I had a lot of fair skin, was not able to handle the sun. I could be out, if I'm in direct sunlight within a half an hour, I can get first degree to second degree burns very easily. I had very fair skin. One of the things that I found is doing carnivore actually helped my ability for my skin to handle the sun. And it was kind of interesting because I'm doing this 4-hour trip. I forget my hat, I forget some other things. And no, I'm not wearing sunscreen. But what is happening is that with what's happening is you have the sun rays coming down. Well, there's great things about that. Again, you get your vitamin D this way. You get to see walking outside. You get to deal with nature and things like that. But here's the problem. You got Ra the sun god. And see, the problem is Ra, he loves to give you sunshine. He loves to give you vitamin D. He gives you light here on this earth and stuff like that. But again, we're not talking about the light of the actual light of the world, which is Jesus. We're talking about the sun god, Ra, that Jesus created. Well, the problem is Ra is a very wrathful God, because at the same time, he wants offerings. And, when you're dealing with gods, idolatry or religion and idolatry and other type of things that can happen and stuff, you're dealing with certain types of sacrifices. So again, one of the problems is though I like to take walks out, I now have to offer my body as a sacrifice to the sun god, Ra. Now, the good thing is with eating properly and all, I get tanned. I don't get burnt anymore. I'm more resistant, I would say, because again, not filling myself with all that sugar and bad stuff and things like that. There's also a resistance to, I would say, is to cancer, and that a lot of people are worried about when you're dealing with going out, being out, and without sunscreen, which has its own problems. But anyways, the thing is, when you're dealing with worship, one of the things is coming and offering sacrifices. Well, like I said, the sun god Ra wants you to be that sacrifice, and it wants you to offer your body as a sacrifice so that it can burn you. But so that's been one of the issues I've had to deal with, is the thing of I don't go for walks just because of the sun and all, though it has this thing, because I do walks even at night during the dark. I may wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning, head off, go do a 2-hour walk or something like that, and just enjoy myself. So it could be day or night. But the problem is like I said, part of the thing is I took the last couple of days off. Part of it was to relax, de-stress, And one of the ways I do that is going for nice long walks. But like I said, in a tropical area like this, one of the biggest things you got to deal with is a form is that worshiping the sun god. So my confession is I am a raw worshiper. I go out, I go for walks, I offer my body and for the thing, but I do protection because of carnivore and things like that. I still wear my hat and things like that. So I do want to let you know, one of the issues out here in these tropical areas like I live in, and it is a tropical area, is that of dealing with the sun god Ra. I know a lot of people think, oh, that's back in ancient Egypt, that's Stargate, stuff like that. They had a deal with Ra and all early in the or in the earlier part of their series and stuff. But the reality, it is still true. So if you really want the reality of it, is part of worship is offering sacrifices, whether you're willing or you're not. For those that do go outside in tropical areas, you are offering your body to the sun god Ra. And of course, Ra is trying to make you raw and things like that. Some people do better, other people do worse. So anyways, just wanted to come and let you know one of the issues I had to deal with, especially this past week, where taking off, going on a lot of walks and things like that, I have to confess, I've been doing a lot of raw worshiping. So that's my confession. I know, a little silliness, having fun, but again, just wanted to do a little something to say, hey, glad to have you all here. Being able to handle the silliness and stuff like that, but also telling you I had a very enjoyable time off and relaxed, feeling a lot better and things like that. I have been spending a lot of, on the right note, yes, I have been spending a lot of time with the Lord also. It's been a great time to spend with the Lord while I'm walking, I'm meditating, or I may be listening to something. Now, it hasn't, all my walks haven't been all spiritual. I at times will listen to other stuff and not just maybe books, story series, something like that. But the thing is it did give me a lot of time to really work through, deal with, de-stress, get closer to the Lord. Because like I said, with my work and all, this last month in June was very stressful, was really getting me to the point of that I'm like, ah! So I wanted to come back and let you know my time here, taking these last 5 days off, have been very helpful. And I know I mentioned it at the beginning. I know because I was being silly and enjoying myself and things like that. So wanted to go ahead and just let you know that I've had an enjoyable time off. Didn't go any place except for a lot of walks. Now, the great thing is my area here, as you've been looking, I got right here is one of the lakes I'm talking about. They're basically huge retention ponds, but again, they stay this way. You got, if you look, let's see if I can get it well enough. There's ducks and other stuff that you see. And so it's great because, again, I take nature and it reminds me of the Bible. It reminds me of God's creation. It reminds me of what the Bible says. Look at the ant, look at other things, see how they do things, how God has made them, what they've done. Also, it's funny because you deal with how some of these animals are getting more used to humans, but still you can only go so far to them. Though they're used to humans, And again, humans will feed them and things like that, but they won't fully come up to you and stuff. But again, you can take care of them, you can look after them, you can enjoy them, and things like that. So again, wanted to go ahead and say, have a little silliness at the front. So to let you know, I'm enjoying myself on my walks and all. I've gotten darker due to the fact that I've offered my body in worship to the sun god, because again, sacrifices is a form of one of the 5 words for worship that is being translated today. And I have to make jokes about that because we really don't understand a lot of stuff out there, I think, today. But anyways, I do see, what is it? Sheila is listening in. Thank you. Looks like Charles pointing in the chat here. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish up. Like I said, it's noon time, so it's not the best time to be out. But the last couple of days, it was very cloudy and stuff, but that's a misnomer, just to let you know. The sun still gets through. The other problem is living in the city, you're dealing with a lot of cement. So not only do you have the sun where it comes down, but then it bounces up. So even wearing a hat doesn't fully protect you. And so that's another reason why I'm able to say I've gotten a little bit more, in some cases, redder, but not to a point where it's like hurting or anything, but also will turn darker and all that. But again, that's part of the summer, enjoying the outdoors, enjoying God's creation, and that's what I've done. So, like I said, wanted to come let you know that I had a wonderful time taking off. I'm feeling feeling refreshed, trying to get the right wording there. Besides doing bad grammar, and I'm doing a lot of bad grammar, but trying to get, letting you know I have been refreshed. I've been refreshed physically, I've been refreshed spiritually, and things like that. And just looking forward to the fact of tomorrow we'll be doing the Q&A. Tuesday we'll go ahead and do the I'll be going ahead and doing the Jody Dillo on the kingdom trying to finish up chapter 3 on repentance, and we'll see what happens on Tuesday, because again, Chris is scheduled to do the debate. With him scheduled to do the debate, that means PB will not be doing his program, and we may not have an after show, because I know Charles needs to be focusing in on his schoolwork, because sometimes he's you got to prioritize things. Now, I thank the Lord I'm out of school. It doesn't mean I haven't stopped learning, but I'm glad I don't have the pressure of school anymore. So anyways, on this Sunday, as I have been enjoying for a few minutes here, again, my worship of Raw, because I'm outdoors videoing, and therefore the sun is out there saying, okay, I want you as a burnt offering. Just want to say thank you for listening, and hopefully I made you laugh a little bit and stuff like that. Have a good day, and see you tomorrow.